Hi, my fellow friends, and that's my cat. My fellow friends and TIs. I was at the Beacon thrift store, the Beacon thrift store the other day, and I didn't think too much of it, because excuse you, I didn't think too much of it. This man passed me. You know, when I came Beacon thrift store, let me tell you, the people that work there are rehabilitating themselves off of drugs. They work at the thrift store, and then when they're ready, they, go out to, they go to school, for welding and things, or whatever they choose to go to school for. Yeah, and when they're ready and stuff, they get a job, but they stay at the rehabilitation center. And, you know, a lot of them are believers. I made a couple friends there at the thrift store because I've been going there since I noticed it there. Josh, and I think his name is Damien. But I always try to touch base with Josh, whether I'm going in the thrift store or not, to look at things, But, I went in the thrift store, and, I kind of had my head, turned to the side. I was down the aisle, and I noticed that the guy looked like he was trying to see my face. When I looked, he wasn't looking, but yeah, he was kind of watching me and stuff. And I knew he wasn't from the thrift store. And he kind of looked familiar. Not somebody that I know, but somebody I've seen before. And when I did turn around, it looked like he was just trying to see my face. And as soon as he seen my face, he got on that phone. And, so I went around and I'm not the slick videoer that a lot of you guys can do. When I'm videoing, or trying to get somebody, on video, you can tell. I'm Captain Obvious. But, well, anyways, so I turned around, hiding myself, trying to fidget with my phone. And then, I turned back around, and the lady that works at the thrift store, she's seen me and stuff, but I don't really talk to her. She was like almost right on my ass, but not right on my ass, And I turned around, I told her, I'm not stealing. That's what she was, that's what she was watching me for. I'm really conspicuous when I'm trying to get on my phone and trying to do something sneaky. Yeah. Well, anyways, this guy, I kind of started, going to where he was. Because, he was, going to where I was or near where I was and stuff. And, but when he got on his phone right away, he was on his phone intently and he kept on looking up over at me. If I'd move, I kept my eyes on him and he'd look up and look over for me. So, I started going near where he was looking for clothes and stuff like that. So he finally disappeared. I don't know if he disappeared out of the store or not. But, see, I got this. I can go outside with it, and I use it for pajamas. But yeah, so, when I finished talking to Joshua and, then Damien, I was talking to him for a little bit. And then I went outside. And, on the opposite side where the thrift store faces is a bench. It's off to the right-hand side, like more or less on the next store in front of it, facing the other store. But, it's right off to the side, and it's right across the sidewalk, off the other side of the sidewalk, facing the stores. I sat down to have a smoke, and, that guy that had went in front of me, he was coming back in the other direction, which I still didn't think too much of it because, you go somewhere, you go back in the opposite direction. But, when he came back in the other direction, when he came back in the other direction, okay, he went, he went this way first, when I first seen him, before I went in the thrift store. When I sat down on the bench, when I was finished shopping, he came back around and went that way, right? And I guess I had been on the bench for a while. I figure, you go somewhere, you go in the opposite direction. Or me, once in a while, I'll take off in one direction and forget I'm supposed to be going another direction. Well, anyways, that was 2 times. Then he came back around me and went that direction. The first couple times, and that was as I was getting up. As I was getting up to leave. I'd been there for a little while. So really the first 2 times, I didn't pay attention because, you go somewhere, get something or whatever, you can go in the opposite direction to, go back. But I ended up behind him. Purposely. Some of these people, I might not be slick at videoing these people, but some of these people are not slick at all. And that guy in the thrift store, he looked really familiar. I know he had been one of the ones before, but I don't think I recognized him because even though I knew he looked familiar, I think last time I had seen him gang stalking me, which it had been a while, he didn't have hair. That's what it was. And, when I got back to my apartment, I figured that one out. It takes a while sometimes because, my brain is screwed up. There was a Suburban on top of me. Oh, and let me share some news with you. I've been trying to gain weight, because of my health. I've, within like a year, I quickly lost extreme weight. But the last few years, it's been gradual up until like 1 year. I just lost it completely. And, skin hanging off of me and everything. My health gone to shit. Okay. Well, anyways, I've been trying to gain weight. Because, a lot of times I'm nauseous and have no appetite. And I'll stop eating. And it's been like that.